beginning of every week, and it usually happens for me on Sunday, that's when I sit down and I prioritize. But if you look at every single day and you plug in your have-tos versus your want-tos in terms of your work-life balance, what are the things that you have to do and what are the things that you want to do? Okay. So, at work, you have to be at work from X amount of time. That's your schedule, right? So that's a have to. Something in your life that you have to do would be like your doctor's appointments and things like that. So it's putting those have-tos in a calendar to where you're then figuring out space for your life.
Do you color coordinate that?
No.
Okay.
No, and sometimes, honestly, now I'm at the point, like I think my wife uses the calendar more than I do. Mm-hmm. I can visually do this.
Is she connected to your calendar?
No.
Okay, I got Dana mad, not to go off topic, but Dana mad because I said, can you just email me a calendar invite? Because I have to put everything in there, else I book an appointment when I'm supposed to be at lunch with her or going to a family event. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
But in terms of the visualization, like now I'm at the point, because I've been doing this for a while, but at this age now, this is probably the busiest time of our lives, and we have a whole new aspect in No Snooze Fatherhood coming our way. So imagine just kind of doing that off the cuff. It's very overwhelming. So for me, what works best is I have to look at every single day to win that day versus looking at the week. You do anything that kind of resonates with that?
So I do something very similar, and I do, like I said, so I have to put everything in my calendar because if I know it's in my calendar, I can work around it for showings.
Yep.
But if it's not in there, I fill up the time just because that's how I am. And it's, you have to be opportunistic. And when a possibility of showing a property comes up, you have to go attack it because that could be the sale that day. That could be, your income for next month.
Right.
And especially with the baby on the way, now I'm really opportunistic and I'm jamming my schedule because I know once that baby comes, I'm going to have to recalibrate and spend more time at home and all that good stuff. But the difference, I think the big difference that I do is I color coordinate everything. So I put green for money, which is anything that I can generate income from. So I put all my appointments, all my showings, listing meetings. I put the podcast in green because it's a part of the business now. Mm-hmm. Personal is in purple, personal purple.
Nice.
And I do that, trips, like I'm going to Florida this weekend for my dad's birthday.
Yep.
I'll put that in purple to let people, so I know I'm not physically in town.
Right.
I could still work, but I need to be remote so I can plan ahead. So it's my big thing that's helped me is the color coordination because I'm very visual. And the colors make me realize, like, oh, wow, that's a green day. Mm-hmm. So I got to put some purple on the other day, and we got to go dinner on Sunday or, do something.
Wow.
So that's just a general. And blue is unconfirmed.
Blue
so
is
a lot of people, like when I was showing you properties, you guys say, what we think Friday works.
Yep.
You guys were actually very organized, which made it easier for me.
Thank you.
But if someone's like, hey, Friday I might work for a showing, I put it in blue and with a question mark, and then when it's confirmed, I turn it to green.
So I don't think there's any other way to be doing this type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And we have our hands in so many different projects, so many different interests that if you're not doing this, whether it's visually on a calendar or just sitting down and, typing it on your laptop or just replaying that Sunday night, that's a huge thing. And I think everybody needs to try that. I also want to challenge you to do one thing, and I'm curious if you've ever done it. I get
worried.
You always get worried.
Because like, you're so confident and you're so intense when you look at someone and you sound like a challenge.
It's
to do
the
one
beard,
thing.
man. It's the beard.
In my head, I'm thinking he's going to ask me to run a marathon. He's gonna,
I'm going to have to say yes.
In
No.
a suit.
So because you color coordinate your stuff, and this now plays back to the piece of the confidence, right? I think every single day, no matter how stressed you are, if you look back on that day, you actually gain some confidence. So if you were to see at the end of the week, right? Forget the end of the day. Take it to the end of the week when you just finished a big week. Because I know I go back in sometimes and I'm like, this week was absolutely insane. But then you know what? Let me look at my calendar. Wow, I had 28 meetings. I started 3 new projects. I went to the gym 5 times. I got to go to dinner with my wife. I attended a birthday party with my boys. Like it really gives you confidence to where you're like, yo, I did a lot this week.
Yeah.
So you take a second to acknowledge the win of the week, and it gives you momentum to move forward the next week.
No, I like that. And I do look back, but in real estate, it's weird because Saturday, Sundays are just another day. Mm-hmm. So it's just a day, but I know I have personal responsibilities, and I know there's other events and things. So it's like sometimes on a Monday, I'll be like, what day is it? Like, have no idea other than Dana's at work, and I'm still, it
Yep.
all depends on the day. But yeah, looking back, you mentioned something before. We're only going to get busier. Part of the thing that helped me is when I embraced that I'm just always going to be busy, then I got less stressed.
Right.
Because I'm like, I chose this life. I worked hard to get here. I can't complain about being busy. I just have to accept it and embrace it.
Yep.
Because when you embrace it, you're able to attack things a little easier. Right? If you looked at yourself a year ago, you're like, wow, I had so much time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially after starting this.
Just even adding this, it has taken, a big portion of our lives, and it's all good stuff. And again, like you said, we are accepting of it, and we ultimately chose this.
That's
You know what I mean?
mentioned that early on
Right.
when we were all miserable here, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I could do this. I kind of wanted to quit. You knew I was very transparent about it, and you were like, listen, we want to do this. I specifically was the one who got everyone's confidence up, and we're doing it. And
Yep.
so